it records video on both sides.
Ah, interesting.
So
And
it
hey, we're
comes
live
out.
now.
Hey,
What is going on, Blake? How are you doing?
you guys were just missing some lively green room chat.
Yeah, I had asked, what is this beta local recording? And Blake knew all about it. He was like, let me tell you about this.
You're about to see it tomorrow when I upload the next episode. I did my first local recording with a pretty poppin' comic book creator.
Oh, that's good to hear. Well, wait, was that a local record, or did you just did you save it here and then download it after?
Well, it's still in the cloud, but it's basically what StreamYard's new deal is their local recording, where it records, because it records audio and video on both sides, and then it uploads it while you're talking, and then when you hit done, it's basically uploaded video and audio from both sides. So like your guest doesn't have to wait around for something to upload, and it's all just ready to go. And that way, if someone's internet kind of craps out, it fixes that, because like on their end, they'll still have the good. What I don't get is how it overlays it and fixes, like that's what I'm interested to see, is how like it patches the two halves together. It's
interesting.
One of the biggest interviews I'm dropping is probably gonna be all fucked up thanks to this new technology.
Thanks, technology.
Thanks, $25 a month for StreamYard. No, I'm just kidding. We love StreamYard.
It's easy to use and it's pretty good.
So
overall.
If you do this, $25 a month is the other people do other shit, but they've like told me about it, and it just makes me feel stupid. I'm just like, I feel like an old man, like, get off my lawn, you crazy kids, with your fancy streamers and your overlays. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, let's say hello to the people in the chat. We got Les Cruces from New Mexico. How's it going?
What up?
And hey, congratulations. You recently won one of the giveaways on my Monday video. So I'll have that out to you at some point. We got the Sports Collector already. Thank you for liking it. We got some of my new hashtags. We've got apparently, I had a guest on, and he dubbed the fans of my channel the Cole's Mustache Rider. And look at you sporting a nice little mustache yourself.
Yeah.
We've got the hashtag Ride On.
Right on.
And what is going on, Marvel Matt? Thank you for stopping by. And yeah, thanks for calling us handsome. That makes us feel good.
Yeah.
But hey,
needed that.
We're going to be talking about a book. It's called Crashing Troy. And I figured, for the people that are here early, I'm going to do a quick little share of this. If you want to put this hashtag CNT, it's fairly short, and that makes it easy. And no one's going to mistype this one, hopefully. You have a chance to win this trade. This is going to be donated from the publisher, which, thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
We'll have that
sponsored giveaway from a Wave Blue World. Who's coming up in the world? Blake and Cole are, baby.
Yeah, and thank you to them. And yeah, highly suggest you check out their stuff. I've got a link to their website down below. Also, apparently I edited this and I did not save it. So we got last week still in there. So I will redo this on the fly. Look at that. When we saved it, it's working. Now we're good. That won't go bad at all. I don't know what. Now I'm confused.
I mean, that's the risk you take when you go live online. You never know.
Yeah. Well, hey, yeah, we're still here, and that's the thing. So let's get into talking about this book. We had kind of a weird start on this one, and I am sorry. That is mostly on me. I started this off weird by asking Blake a question the second we were going to go live, and that's not always the best way to start something. But we've got Crashing Troy. I'm going to throw in the middle while I read this synopsis. The cover. So if you're interested in seeing that, it's fairly small. I didn't apparently do it large enough either. So I'm all over a mess today, but thank you all for sticking around. So Crashing Troy, this is, as we already said, a Wave Blue World is the publisher. We've got writer Jared Lujan. We've got art by Kyler Clodfelter, which I just found out lives in the Detroit metro area, which is fairly close to me. So, hey, congratulations, people of Michigan. We've got colors Bruno Furlani. We got letters by Buddy Wadwin. I definitely mispronounced that, and I'm sorry. There are a lot of vowels, and that definitely confuses me.
Boudouin? I thought it might be Boudouin.
Yeah, well, that's probably.
We also both might have just white boy fucked that up.
I gave it a try. I did it in one try, and that's usually the best you're gonna get, when you just kind of let your brain think about it and put it out there. Sometimes that does it. So let's do the blurb here. It is intergalactic mercenaries Rex Crash Ballard, a super strong grumpy mutant, and Troy 3.0, a sentient software art aficionado, find themselves in hot water after freeing a ruthless dictator from a maximum security prison planet. Now they must clean up their mess or find themselves locked up instead. This means working with a very pissed off Chief Fiona Alvarez of the Earth Defense Forces and no nonsense handler named Delphi, sorry, which is hard for her because there's a lot of nonsense on the way. Oh, also, there's an interplanetary war. No sweat. No sweet for two pros like Crash and Tro. Also, that was sweat. I changed it to sweet. I forgot how to read. Thank you all for being here.
Oh, what a great little, I love this book for so many reasons. But it really is just like 80s sci-fi buddy cop-esque, just lots of puns, lots of ridiculousness, a ton of heart. It's so much fun. It's what did I say on so I said like I can't even remember my pull quote, the fucking pull quote they printed on the book. Comic book joy, tons of something comic book, pure comic book, pure 1 kilo of pure uncut comic book joy. That was an embellished pull quote, but I might be biased because they put part of my Blake's Buzz review on the back cover, which I was so excited to see. But it got that because I was so excited about it in my review, and it's justified. It's so I'm so glad it got picked up for more. We're gonna get a volume 2, and this comic deserves it. So I'm excited.
And hey, David over at Callie and Jordan Squad, welcome. And thank you for calling us your favorite Thursday night entertainment. We're glad that we can be that. And welcome to John W. Part-Time Comics.
What's up, John? John's got a Kickstarter going live this week or next, I believe. Drumsticks of Doom. You guys should check that out. It's badass.
Awesome. We'll have to check that out. So, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think, this is a fun little buddy cop book. There is a slight sad backstory, I think, a little bit to this book. So this was originally supposed to be released by another publisher, and they kind of just left the contract in limbo for a while. And I'm thankful that we finally got to get this book out into the world. I remember there was a very long standing protest for a while. And there was a hashtag free Crash and Troy. And hey, we got it. And
it happened. Like, the good guys won. That's one of the reasons why I love this book, because we came so dangerously close to not having it. And then so if you were a reviewer, Jared actually sent review copies out and everybody loved it. Right. And everybody was starting to drop reviews. And then all of a sudden, the news started coming out that this publisher was pulling some fuckery. Right. And then like more news came out. We found out what was going on. And it was so cool. Cause like, Jared dug his feet in the ground, and he stood up. This lone indie creator stood up to a fucking publisher and said, like, no, like, this is my property and you're going to respect it. And you're going to give it back to me if you're not going to use it, And I think, with where we're at now with all these indie publishers and the strangeness going on and the dangers of indie publishing, to see Jared's, tactics pay off and have this come out and get well reviewed. Everybody loved all 4 issues. The trade's out now. We're going to get more of it. The fans are happy. A Wave Blue World is a cool publisher. They're taking good care of the creatives. It seems like, this is cool to see the good guys win. You don't see that all the time, So like, that's another outside of the narrative why this is a very special book coming out at a very special time.
Yeah. And I mean, it's, fun buddy cop story that I think too kind of has this weird, like, when we're talking about Crash, I mentioned that he is a super strong grumpy mutant. This also has some definite, like, small time, like, superhero stuff going on in it, right? There's some, powers and maybe not like anything crazy, but, it kind of reminds me of like buddy superheroes getting out of trouble and, helping each other do something pretty fun. So yeah, thank you, a Wave Blue World, for making this happen. And also, for everyone here that is chilling out, make sure you put in that hashtag hashtag that we've got scrolling down below, there is a chance to win this trade for free thanks to A Wave Blue World.
And it's a beautiful trade. It's designed well. I like the back matter. That it's got some decent back matter.
Yep.
Not a ton, but enough to like once you read it, you get a couple cool tidbits. And just like a nice little addition to the package.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like four great issues and just phenomenal art and colors that just explode out of every panel. That just make you want to read more comics. Like it's just, this is why comic books, this is why I love comic books is little gems like this that you find, because we get a lot of big bombastic events, right? And Cole and I love the big two. We've been very excited and talked about our DC Ultra subscriptions that we're happy to have, so it's not like, we respect what's going on in these bigger companies, but it's really cool sometimes when you get these special little golden nuggets, right? That you find filtering out at the stream. And when you sift away all the surroundings, right? And you get that little gold piece and you put it in your pocket, right? I don't know if any of you know how to find gold. That's how you do it. It's trying to build a nice little metaphor here. But anyways, it's a really good comic. And I'm not a great poet, so we try though. We try.
Maybe in the future you'll become a slightly better poet, but hey, we still got the comic, and that is something that I think we both definitely enjoyed. I'm going to put the spoiler banners on at this point in time. I don't think there are a few things that kind of spoil. We're obviously not going to tell you how this book ends, but for the most part, we're just talking some of the plot points, some of the characters, and kind of just a little bit about them. I think one thing that was pretty cool that I really enjoyed, and I'm not 100%, so we ended up getting a reviewer copy of this trade, and they kind of mentioned that. So I'm not sure if all the stuff that we saw necessarily made it into the actual trade, but they did have the two character designs, and then they kind of gave the profiles about the two main characters of Crash and Troy, and I thought that was pretty interesting. I would guess that that's pretty much in there because it does kind of have the editors' names and all the creative team on those pages. But I thought that was a fun way to kind of introduce you to these characters before you really get to dive into the world. I think the way that the first issue starts up, you've got Crash, you've got Troy, they're both in this prison and they're trying to break out, right? You're not entirely sure why or what's going on, but they're there and you're trying to figure out what's going on with these things. So it kind of starts off pretty fast, pretty action packed. And yeah, we've got some new people in the chat here. What is going on, Flo Dameron? Thank you for stopping by. And we got Trev, the shipping guru. What's going on, Trev? How's it going? Thank you guys for stopping by. And once again, there is a scrolling hashtag. Make sure you guys put that in the chat if you want a chance to win this. So the first issue, I think the fun thing about this is one of the funny things and quirks about Troy 3.0 is that he is a huge Meryl Streep fan.
Yeah.
And was one of the things I remember. One of the things that when Jared, because I actually had him on the Comic Burrito to do a small burrito bite where we just did like a 5-minute pitch on what this book was all about. And he kind of just said it's, I forget the exact, but I think he said it's like the fun of an 80s buddy cop movie. And like, and then he ended it with and Meryl Streep. And I was like, what? That like, I didn't even expect that. And like, then I was like, what's going on here? But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a fun book. We got Tyler.
We got Wave Blue World.
Tyler. Yeah. Hey, how's it
Tyler,
going?
thank you. Everybody say thank you to Tyler because he was the one who helped us set up this giveaway and stuff tonight. So dude, thank you. That was so cool of you guys. We're so happy to talk about this book and share it with our audience and try and get more eyes on it because everybody needs to read this book. It's so good. So good.
Yes, definitely very fun. And yeah, like I said, once again, we do have the spoiler banner on, but for the most part, we're just talking plot points for the, for the main part. And I think that a lot of people here will sometimes think, there are certain comics fans that are like, hey, if you tell me about like anything that happens in the book, that's a spoiler. So we just want to make sure that everyone is prepared for that. We got Travis. Hey, how's it going, Travis? And thank you for dropping in. And yeah, you can be cool one day. Actually, you are pretty cool yourself, man.
Yeah, you definitely and you make regardless of what I may have said on a live stream a long time ago that I don't entirely remember, you make good comics. You make a lot of good comics and I enjoy them, and no one's paying me to say that.
And no one is paying you. Yeah. So thank you.
Definitely no one's paying me.
Blake, I'll make sure to ship that $2 off. Should be nice for Travis. So thank you for that. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, once again, they're caught in this world. The whole thing is that they're trying to, as we kind of said in that blurb, they're trying to save or free this dictator from jail. And I think that in itself to me always is kind of comical. My favorite part about this is they're like, the first issue's finishing up. The reason that they end up getting caught and know that it was them is because Troy, who is the sentient software, logs into his Netflix account because I think he wanted to watch Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
What is the reference thing? So, there's like, this is pretty funny overall. Like, I normally don't like, I mean, this is definitely not like a comedy book first. It is kind of an action adventure friendship kind of story. But there are some cool stuff in that where, there is a lot of comedy that I think hits, which is something that I kind of like when it's done, the way that this book has kind of done it.
Yeah, the puns and one-liners really sing, and they come at great moments. Like you mentioned, like it's very much an action sci-fi adventure, but these little brief moments of humor just kind of like change the vibe, change the stakes. The stakes are always high, but it lessens the tension in a good way. Like it keeps it more fun and bouncy and random. And these are things that often like fall away in hard action, narratives, right? It's like all gunfire all the time. Like we're smashing heads, we're cracking skulls, we're twisting necks. Like I'm wrapping barbed wire around my body because I don't give a fuck. All I live for is pain, and it's like, and this goes there too, right? But it also keeps it light and funny and charming. Heart and charm is a big part of these characters and this narrative, and we get it in spades here.
Yep. And hey, welcome Kenneth Bird, and welcome J80 Hobbies. Thank you guys for stopping by,
guys.
And yeah, as Kenneth did, make sure you guys are putting in that CNT. Now I get what Comics on the Bay was talking about earlier, but make sure you put that hashtag in to win this. I just wanted to make it easy because I know sometimes when you put multiple words in at a time in a hashtag, it makes it hard, and some people don't always spell it right, and I don't want anyone to miss out on the opportunity to get this just because there was a misspelling somewhere down the road. So yeah, I think that's the fun thing too about this is, with any fun like buddy cop where there's kind of the comedy, there always has to be the no nonsense person. And towards the end of that first issue, we meet Delphi, I think is how you would say that, DELPHIE. PHI, no E, Delphi. And I really enjoyed her character because I thought she just adds to the funniness of them, right? When you just have these two guys that are kind of just silly and just kind of going off the walls, you always need, somebody strong to keep them in line a little bit, make sure they're not messing up too much. And I really enjoyed her character probably the most out of all of these. Troy is very hard to not like, I think. And Crash is kind of grumpy and kind of a jerk, but maybe at the end of this book he turns out to be a little bit better of a person. I think the three of them kind of interact pretty good throughout this. And as you mentioned, I think the one thing I really enjoyed about this is that it does have, in this book, there are some serious spots, right? They get kind of serious about like, Crash and his path, Delphi and her past, and kind of go into some of these character stuff and on how they're building. But there's a lot of fun there, but then the action just really hits. There's a scene where Troy comes in and just comes in as kind of maybe a different thing and just starts to really kick some ass. And I just loved when that kind of happened.
That the Troy's metamorphosis, Crash is a mutant, which is in like the character profile. It's like not a huge spoiler, but like, like a Colossus-esque kind of X-Men kind of sort of power. And the way he transforms. Yeah. Like, and so the colors are very, very, like, I love the art. Okay. The pencil work and the line work is top tier, but like the colors, when these powers combine, right, when it's Kyler's the line artist and Bruno is the colorist, and when these guys get together, anything can happen on these pages, and they kind of glow Like they really do. And there's some spots where like some blurring and motion lines are used, and it looks like it's very like Dragon Ball Z like oriented, like a big battle manga scene, except in full glorious color. And I think these guys were going for that too, because they mentioned that in the back matter. But yeah, like it's only 4 issues, but so much happens, but not too much happens, right? Like they keep that balance really done well. Like it's not overburdened, it doesn't move too fast, it doesn't move too slow. Like Jared Luhan's script is a pacing masterclass, basically. Like you're thrown in, you barely have time to breathe, and then like it's all of a sudden you're on the last issue and things are wrapping up, and then you know the ending happens, and then thankful, like we mentioned earlier, like there's going to be an arc 2, and I think everybody who read these 4 issues is really, I don't, you know what, if you're not happy there's going to be an arc 2 after reading these 4 issues, please voice yourself in the chat. Let us know all your socials and where to find you, so I can fucking block you and never talk to you again, because you're just damn wrong.
Yeah.
You're just wrong.
Just wrong. And hey, we got some new people in the chat. Where'd you get that? Thank you for stopping by.
What's up? How's it going?
We got Cup of Comics, who
Cup of
actually
Comics.
I met in Vegas, and we both are not from Vegas. So that was a fun little time. And we got Shop for Comics. How is it going? Once again, to all the new people, there is a hashtag going down at the bottom. Make sure you enter that in the chat if you want to get entered to win this. And like we said, yeah, there is hopefully going to be an arc 2. I don't know if they actually released that an arc 2 is going to come out. Maybe I missed.
No, it's official. We don't have a date for it yet. And at the end of the trade, it says the end for now. But yeah,
for now
they did announce that there is going to be a second volume.
Okay, I just know sometimes you get that the end for now, and maybe sometimes there isn't another.
Yeah,
that is the now, right? That is the end. But yeah, I think so. We kind of covered the characters. You talked about the coloring too, and I just wanted to make sure that I got this come back and redid the cover a little bit bigger so people can probably see it a little bit better. As you can see, the guy with the pink hands, he is who we call Crash. And as you can tell, those are that's like what his body turns into when he starts to morph. The guy to his over his knee is the Dictator. We didn't even talk about the Dictator's son. The Dictator's son is also a super comical bad guy villain. So it's funny because the Dictator is loosely like Kim Jong-il.
Very
one of those.
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, and but his son, he just keeps calling his beefy boy, and he just is kind of like this.
He's a crybaby. He's a
crybaby.
280-pound crybaby.
Yeah, he's just crying for no random reason. It's definitely pretty funny. I know that even Crash is they're kind of in their first showdown is or I think it's in their second showdown. He's like, "Oh, you're not going to cry for this one." It's kind of funny as that's kind of happening throughout this. So.
And then also to go back to the art, and we kind of talked about character designs and how great they are, and that the ships, the architecture, that the various planets we are briefly on, the prison planet, all of these things are so realized and great to look at. But issue 2 has one of the best dog fights in comics. I think they're in space, and they're flying around their spaceship, and the enemies have these asteroid disguised wings pop out of them, and they look like little space meatballs with wings, and they're but it's they're so cool, and it's a good 5 or 6 pages of just awesome, gorgeous, high action dog fighting, and like I said, space lasers, everything's bound, there's explosions, there's all this great stuff, and some really great dialogue from Troy, the rock in a hard place. Oh man, it's so good. It's, you guys, if everybody in the chat, unfortunately we only have one copy to give away, but if you don't win, this comic is worth $16.99, I think, from Away Blue World.
Cover price.
And I think it ships for free locally. And if you're in the US, I'm pretty sure you can order from their website and get free shipping. Don't yell at me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, I definitely put the link down there. You can purchase it straight from their website, or if you go into your local comic shop, hopefully they grab some copies.
Yeah,
tomorrow, because this book does come out tomorrow. So yeah, if you can either pre-order it from your shop. I think. We definitely talked about Troy and his love for Meryl Streep, but one of my favorite parts in here that I think is a subtle thing that you could even maybe possibly sort of miss is that there is, I think, at the end of issue 3, there goes into it just says like the devil wears armor
Oh,
protocol. But
yeah.
it's just like I was just like, oh, and there's in the back matter too, in the character design. I think that Kyler had mentioned that the outfit that in the character design for Troy that they used is the one that Meryl Streep wore in, I think, The Devil Wears Prada. I could be wrong on the Meryl Streep movie because I am not a Meryl Streep aficionado, but I know that there were a few things there that I thought was pretty funny with that. And I mean, Meryl Streep is somebody that I think almost everyone can love.
Oh yeah, and then also his addiction to cat videos.
Yeah.
Too, like, and I keep that thing on me. Like, oh
Oh,
man,
yeah.
I was thinking the King of the Hill like fake rap videos. I
Oh,
keep that thing on me.
damn it,
Uh,
Bobby.
but yeah, and then that the whole hacking scene. I won't spoil that, but just there's a hacking scene where Troy is inside a computer, causing a ruckus, and it's not your Matrix esque. It's like Tron on LSD, man. It's fucking gnarly
Yeah.
and amazing, and I was not expecting that to happen. I was just, this comic is really good with page turns and scene changes and stuff like that, and it's very very rare are you like, oh, this is going to happen, and it does. Like, it very much like takes you for a ride, and the quick turns it gives you, and the steep slopes it throws you down, you're not expecting them, which makes the ride even better.
And it looks like we got some new people in the chat. So, hey, how's it going, Sheena? Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. We've got my buddy Justin over at Three Good Nerds. Thank you for stopping in. Once again, I do have a hashtag scrolling down here. So if you guys are here and you want to get entered to win this trade, I highly recommend it because it is great. You should make sure that you put in CNT. And I think we got a special guest over here. We have the writer himself, Jared Lujan, in the chat. So this comic is very good. Everyone loves it. These are facts. We agree with you.
Very true. That
and-
should have been on the back cover.
Yeah. From Jared, the writer.
I would do that if I ever got to publish my own comic. I would do like every pull quote would be like me, just like me and the reasons why I love my own comic.
You know what? Troy is super funny character. I am also super funny. So
Yeah.
I think you should read that because if you think I'm funny, then you'll definitely think Troy is funny also.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for stopping in, Jared. That's I love your comics. I love your show. And yeah, so I just no bad things to say about that guy.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang forever.
Wu-Tang forever. Yeah.
Did I see Ignacio? Ignacio's popping in.
Yeah, and we got Ignacio. Hey, Ignacio, thank you for joining in. Hey, maybe too on that volume 2 of Crash and Troy. Maybe we'll see an Ignacio de Maglia variant.
Oh, little variant action. Yeah,
that would be a beautiful thing. I think that he could do some awesome work for both.
His style would go really well with that, but with their vibe. Yeah. And his colors, his style and his colors.
Yeah, and I think you kind of touched on, the brightness of the colors, but I think, kind of to add to the 80 buddy cop thing that we've kind of mentioned multiple times, is it is a fairly big theme. I think that we're both here for. I think the colors definitely do that, especially the rose gold like armor for Crash is one of those things where just it pops a little bit. And you had mentioned it looks almost like neon on certain pages, and especially in some of the fights, just with the fast motions and everything like that. I don't even know what that emoji is supposed to be. Oh, that is a thinking emoji.
Oh, he's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it. So, hey.
Cole and I putting good comics into the hands of fans and gigs into the hands of our friends. That's what we do on Blake and Cole Read a Book.
And I didn't even realize that Kyler lives like on the other side of the state of where I live. So maybe there will be a Comic-Con soon in the near future where I can meet him and maybe get a copy of this signed. And then I'll have to send it to Texas for Jared to sign up for.
Speaking of copies, I know it might be hard to pull it up, but I'm so mad I didn't buy it when I could. There's such an amazing Star Wars homage variant to issue 1. Like, oh my God, it's perfect. And all did all these issues sold out, right? At the distributor level. I'm pretty sure, or at least most of them did. So like these did well, like 1 through 4 did really well. And which is, again, another cool thing. Because in one of Jared's Kickstarters, he ended up with all these issue ones from the other publisher, which he was so excited about, except he wasn't. I mean, he went to war, and all of a sudden, like one day, like all these like pallets of comic books showed up at his house, and he's like, the fuck am I supposed to do with these? And he ended up, everybody who backed his last Kickstarter, All the Devils Are Here, shout out, will be coming out from Scout. Final order cutoffs coming up soon. You should probably pre-order, because that's a good comic book too. Anyway, but when we backed that, he threw in a copy of the #1 Crash and Troy, and like I said, when we got that, we weren't sure there was going to be any more. And then, like, a few people got to read this, and like I said, everybody loved it. And it's such a bummer, right? When you get this great premiere issue and don't know what's going to happen. And then, the whole free Crash and Troy deal. And then we were all like everybody was coming out on the internet and rallying together. And I think Jared put a lot of gumption behind a lot of indie creators that were getting kicked around and feeling taken advantage of. And I think, some of the steps he took and advice he gave and things that he did, I think a lot of indie creators saw that and felt empowered by that too. And I think going forward, like what Jared did here, I think people are going to remember it for a long time. And that another reason why I'm glad this comic is so good, because it just has it's got a great history behind it now, right? Like it's, the good guys win in the comic, and the good guys won in the real world. So it's just, I love it. I love it, man. It's like, it's a good, heartwarming story.
Yeah, and for anyone in the Midwest or Midwest adjacent area, looks like the creative team is mostly going to be at C2E2. I'm pretty bummed out about this, because C2E2 is happening when it's my daughter's spring break, and we are going to go on a trip. So I will unfortunately not be able to go to C2E2. I try and go there every year when I can, unless I think they do a fall and a summer one, or a winter and a fall one, or I don't even know.
I thought it was only I just always knew it's cold when they have it.
Yeah, they did. I think they started doing them in August or something. I guess I could be wrong, but yeah, I know this one is going to be like April 2nd, I want to say, or like it's
oh wow, so it's coming up like right
March
after
3rd to April 2nd or something like that. So yeah.
Oh.
Tell your daughter spring break is canceled. I think that my wife and my daughter. But yeah, I mean, but my sister-in-law might be happy because she lives in Chicago, and we'd at least probably go visit her, because that's where C2E2 is. But yeah, it was funny. I was just, while you were saying that story about the inspirational story, I went back and I found it, and it looks like I had ended up talking. Actually, I looked at the completely wrong thing. I ended up talking to Jared. I thought about this book at some point, but maybe I forgot when I actually did that. I found another one for when The Devils Are All Here, but I remember I talked to him about when this book was coming out, and it looks like it was Crash and Troy. So let's see when the date was on that. We talked in June 21st of 2021. And that was when we were promoting this book. So yeah, it has come a long way, and now it is, being released for trade. So I'm definitely thankful for this. I got to finally finish this story up, because this was something that I remember reading that story, and I was just like, I think for a while I was just like, dude, I need to read the rest of them. Can you at least send them to me?
Yeah, it's because I don't were they done? I wonder. Like, did they? I wondered that, like, because like issue 1 was done, I didn't know how much work they had done on the other issues.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, Jared. If you're still in the chat, maybe you can answer that. But I think that, I thought he had mentioned that they were done, but they were still under contract. I could be completely wrong. And hey, how's it going, Steve Hayner? Welcome,
What's up, Steve?
Tonight, and thank you for joining in on that hashtag. And once again, thank you to A Wave Blue World for donating that trade. So if you are here tonight in the chat, make sure you're entering that hashtag. And just for the people that might be not able to see that small thing, maybe I'll just kind of present my screen one more time so that it's a little bit easier for people to see that for them.
CNT, baby. Isn't that an AC/DC song? It's Dynamite.
I think that's just TNT.
Damn it.
But it might be the country music television, right? Or is that
CMT?
Which are known for playing Jared's favorite artist, the Wu-Tang Clan. Hey, welcome, Trading Cards.
Nice hot dog guy. I like that.
I think that's Bubbles.
Was that Bubbles? Bubbles with a
No,
hot
nope,
dog.
that
Nope.
definitely is not Bubbles.
No.
But it looks like
All white
Bubbles.
guys in glasses look alike, huh, Cole?
Yeah.
I see how it is.
He just did the Bubbles face, man.
He did. He definitely had that
No,
trailer park stare.
yeah. And you know what? Hey, and you can watch cat videos at least. With
Yeah.
Troy.
He'd love to watch some cat videos with you.
Oh, and also it's not. Oh, wait, never mind. I saw David post this. I got confused because I was like, I definitely said trading cards, but apparently it's trade card. But that might just be the YouTube handle because sometimes
okay.
people can take a handle that maybe you have. So that's where I definitely was confused there.
Yeah, that new handle thing is weird to me. I mean, I guess it's easy because you can say like at Blake's Buzz on YouTube now and search for it that way, but I didn't know you could put it in a link like that. Like when people ask for a link to your channel. Because I remember when I got my first 100 subs, like it lets you do like a custom URL.
Yeah.
And I got to do like YouTube/C/Blake's Buzz. And I was like, I made it, motherfuckers.
And
now here we are.
Here we are with at symbols.
So, yeah.
Loosely Twitter all over again.
Yeah. And now you can even do like I didn't even know it the other day till I saw Cole posted it, and he posted one today too. Like you can post like the little status updates on YouTube now for your followers.
And this is kind of a little bit off topic a little bit, but yeah, so the weird thing about that is that the community tab for a while was only open to people with 500 subscriptions or subscribers. So when I hit 500 subscribers, I got the community tab, and then a week later they were like, you know what, maybe everyone should just
everybody can have it.
But there's weird things because certain people don't have it. So I think you maybe have to put in like 2-factor authentication and some other stuff. But yeah, I know that I don't know how many people use it. I like it for polls sometimes. I think are pretty fun.
Cole's polls.
Yeah. Speaking of polls,
that should be a segment.
Hashtag right on. But yeah, and once again, Taylor, I think that you would like this book a lot. So make sure that you enter that hashtag down below to make sure that you get a chance to win this.
Hashtag right on Cole's polls.
That is definitely not the hashtag of the night. It is hashtag CNT.
But if you put that hashtag win in, you'll win in a different way.
Yeah,
guarantee it, ladies and gentlemen.
Sooner or later, Bearded Comic Bro is going to come in. He's going to throw a random hashtag. Somebody else is going to start talking about food, and here we're going to be. And I'm trying to think. I don't even know. They are eating some sort of food. I forgot what the food is that they're eating.
The amuse-bouche.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what that is, but they're eating something like that.
It's like an appetizer for rich people. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder if
I'm in Kansas City, man. We eat burn-ins and barbecue ribs. I don't know what that shit is. It looked like space whale meat, like fancy space sushi. And then he doesn't even get a bite. The fucking poor guy. They spend all this money on this fancy food, and then they get tossed back into the chaos without a moment to spare. It's not even time to breathe before the next adventure.
Which, sometimes I think that's what makes a good action story go, right?
That's what you need. You need that. You need that thing that propels you from page to page. And I also want to go back to Delphi or whatever her name might be. There's a moment at the end of the book, and this isn't a big spoiler, but like, we see her in battle gear, and she's very like hardened and badass and matter of fact. And like Cole said, she's like holding these two dipshits together, right?
Yeah,
like she's
she's the one above the two of them in there.
And Cole's got the electric choke collar that she's got the button to, or not Cole, not
Crash, yeah.
But he's so she's got the button to like zap him when he gets out of line. But there's a moment when we see her in the end, and she's like all dressed up and fucking just drop dead comic book gorgeous in this like fancy gown and shit, and she's just like, I really like that part too, and Crash is all kissing her ass, right? And it's like, but it's funny because like this is a cartoon or like a cell shaded toon-esque image, and I just remember being like, damn, like so like look at that glow up, baby, like and so anyways, just all these characters again get put in different elements and different outfits, and the way their powers progress and stuff. They all have these little moments where they look different and command the page, right? And each one of them gets like their own big, well, the several like big splash pages, right? They're very good at divvying up those physical rewards between the three characters and the villains. Like there's some great splash pages where like Kyle and Bruno just get to go as fucking hard in the paint as they can, and it pays off.
And even as you mentioned earlier, with kind of some of the airplane fights, you called it dog fights. That definitely confused me because I was like, I did not remember any dogs fighting. And then I just realized terminology about pilots. So, Trev wants to know, what is the best barbecue place in Kansas City, in your opinion?
Okay, so if we're really gonna go do good barbecue, I'm gonna go to Casey Joe's and get ribs and burn-ins and pulled pork. And we also like, so a lot of people make fun of me about this, but the way to know if like a barbecue place is really good is getting their smoked turkey breast. Because like it's hard to pull off. You don't want it to dry out, but you still want a lot of that smoky flavor and stuff. And so like, but so yeah, you want to get like some good turkey breasts. Like I'm a fan of brisket, but I think I'd rather go to Joe's and get some turkey breasts, some sausage chunks, ribs and burn-ins, right? And then we're gonna go to Jack Stack and get Jack Stack fries, bees, and cheesy corn. So we're gonna get our meat from Casey Joe's, and we're gonna get our sides from Jack Stack, and that's how you don't fuck around with Casey Barbecue. But Q39 is a great place to go sit down and eat. It's a great restaurant. They have great service, and they do have great food. But most of the time, when my family, the way we do barbecues, we go to Joe's. And if we, because we usually make my dad go pick it up, right? Because like we all sit around and party and wait for the food to come. And so if dad's in a good enough mood to go to make 2 trips, we'll get our sides from Jack Stack, because their cheesy corn bake is out of this world. It's corn and cheese and cream and little chunks of ham, and oh dude, it's to die for. It's so good. It's so good.
And Taylor, to answer your question, burnt ends are usually like, you take a brisket and it's like the outside part that you just burnt, like literally it's burnt. Yeah. You cut it up into little meat chunks. You put them then in sauce with extra like brown sugar on top, brown sugar. And you just kind of let those things get like little like nuggets of meat candy.
Yeah, and they get real tender because you're smoking it. Yes, it's the flat. It's the flat of the brisket is basically what they come from.
Well, maybe Taylor, maybe you're just not a big fan of some.
Are you like a vegetarian or a vegan, or?
I don't know the answer to that, but I would assume
you could. I'm sure you could probably do burn-in tofu if you're that kind of person.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't.
I would guess that there's other things that maybe are better to do.
I smoked some tofu, dude. Everybody would be in Kansas City. That's how you make people cry. People would be weeping. Your ancestors would be rolling over in their graves.
But well, yeah, he's a fat cheesehead that eats meat. And hey,
well, you would like the cheesy corn then.
What is going on? A comic book worm. Oh yeah.
Because we both have mustaches.
Oh yeah. I get it. I didn't get it at first, but now I get it. And also, yeah, Naman, since you are new here, there is a hashtag going on. We are giving away a copy of this book, Crash and Troy, that was donated from A Wave Blue World, who is the publisher of this book. And great people. They brought a book that we've been kind of wanting to see for almost 2 years. It took not really 2, about a year and a half, right? And they saved the day. We got this published out in the world. I'm glad to see it finally end. Well, not that was a weird thing to say. I'm glad that I got. I'm
glad this is over.
Yeah, but I'm also glad that the
you still there, Jared? Thanks for tuning in, bud. Real glad these 4 issues are done, because I just can't do it anymore.
Because worst case scenario, we at least get hopefully 4 more in the next volume that we kind of alluded to, right? It has the the end maybe or maybe.
And then next Kevin Feige is going to pick it up and do make a whole new universe out of it. Is the step 3, like the underpants gnomes. Step 1, we collect the underpants. Or wait, no, what is it? Is it step 1, collect underpants. Step 2, ? Step 3, profit.
Yeah, which also came from, I think that was originally Basketball.
Oh, man, I haven't seen that movie in a long
Yeah.
time.
First we get the money, then we get the cash, then we get the chicks. I don't know. Hey, maybe that's a little
You
bit
couldn't
short,
get
but
a
yeah.
chick with $100 bill hanging out of your zipper. Yeah, I could. You guys rail on me 13 or 14 more times. I'm out of here. I will recite this whole movie. I am in love with that movie.
It is such a great, but yeah, for that hashtag, it is CNT with a hashtag there. And it is also scrolling at the bottom. The hashtag scroller at the bottom. I think for some people might be hard. I know too that when you're on your phone and you're in the chat, sometimes you miss out on some of that. But here we have it. Yeah, the scroll, because it kind of like doesn't do everything, but so I think for final thoughts, do you have anything else you want to add to the talk of Crash and Troy?
What have I not said already, or in my review, or my amazing pull quote on the back
Yeah,
cover?
and two, yeah, whoever wins this, you'll get to see a pull quote from Blake.
Yeah, not I love how my pull quotes have moved from like Kickstarter comics to direct market comics. Like I'm that legit now, right? But then I also joked, and I mean I was gonna buy this anyway, but I made the joke today when I tweeted it because I was okay. So all right, I'll tell a little story right now. Let's have story time. So Jared told me, he messaged me and he was like, hey, I requested it, but I don't, like I requested your pull quote on the back cover, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then they sent us the review copy for volume 1. And so the first thing I did, right, was like scroll all the way to the end to look at the back cover, and it wasn't there. And I realized now, like, this was made like before then, but at first I was like, oh, I was like, I guess, and I was like, whatever, like things happen. And then they started posting all these reels on Instagram and Facebook and stuff of like the guys getting their comps in, right? And so I kept, like I follow all these guys, and I kept seeing the reels pop up and liking them. And then finally I saw one of them like flip to the back cover, and then like I didn't catch it at first, and then I was like, and I like went back and rewinded it, and then like on some of these video things you have to like wait for the video to replay, right? You can't just rewind it a little bit. It has to like play all the way, and then you have to wait for it to restart. So I'm
Instagram
like, was that it? Sure. And I was like waiting, and then so I had to watch it again, and then I paused it at the right time and saw it, and then I screenshotted it and saw like my pull quote. And I was like so excited, and I like sent it to everybody, and I was like, look how fucking cool I am! Like I made the comic or something, right? Like I was like, it's mine now. This is my gun. But anyway, no, I'm joking. But I was really really excited, and but yeah, I just how this comic came to be, the great people involved in it, introducing me to A Wave Blue World, which has been exciting. They've been really cool to me, sent me some comics to check out, and how cool they were to Cole and I to, this is a new show. Like Cole and I have an audience, but like, this is our fourth episode, right?
Episode 4.
To offer to give us a trade to give away, and they're gonna pay to ship it and everything too. So that was just very cool. And so like all these little elements that will always make this comic book special to me, whether or not the story blew me away or not, it's going to stay in my heart. And guess what, the story also blew me away. So this was just a very cool comic book fan experience, comic book press experience, and comic book streamer experience. So I wish covering comics was always this fun. I wish publishers always took a chance on press.
And I took it. I found the screenshot you sent.
Nice.
And I quick made it so you can see up here in the left-hand corner. We got some pure comic book joy from Blake's Buzz. So awesome. Oh, and we got a hand pink wavy multiples. This is the only thing I don't like about StreamYard. Why has StreamYard figured out all the emojis that YouTube
I was wondering. Yeah, like I was, because you mentioned that happened the other day. It was like you like read an emoji out loud. I was like, what is happening? Hey, the artist is in the chat.
Oh, hey, welcome, Kyler. How's it going?
Yes, New Era made these several years ago. Every couple years, New Era makes them, and you got to like pre-order them. They're usually previews exclusives. I got this one, and then I got a yellow one with a black symbol. I ordered both, and then they've had a couple more come out, and I've missed those. But yeah, it's you got to kind of keep an eye out on the New Era previews exclusive stuff, and their website. Like right now, like New Era has some really great Power Rangers and Transformers hats and stuff, like really nice fitted hats, and they do they get like Marvel properties and stuff too, but they sell out outrageously fast. So you got to kind of just keep an eye out. But yeah, thanks. Thanks for loving my hat. I love your fucking art and your comic, bud. It's real great.
Yeah, and thank you for making this comic. And also, I found out while reading this book and reading your character profile that you live on the opposite side of the same state that I live on. So hey, congratulations that we live in the same state.
You guys are gonna have to get drinks and then find a creator to tag comics in while you're at the bar.
I mean, I might be heading towards the Detroit area soon because me and my wife got drunk with some friends, and I might have agreed that we're going to an Ed Sheeran concert. So who knows? Yeah,
Oh wow.
Michiganders unite. We've got Two Hearted Beer and the Detroit Lions.
Hey, Bell's Two Hearted is good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and technically we also have an upper and a lower part too, unlike Wisconsin, which is a far inferior state that is shaped maybe like some think I'm in.
See, I guess we have, because like I live in South KC. So like we have like there's like north over the river KC, and then that's like the weird place. And then there's like Southtown, which is better, and where like a lot of the good bar scenes are and stuff. I'm a little bit more south of that, but like South KC is like where all the fun happens. And then you've got Kansas City, Kansas, which is just weird. We don't talk about that. That's the wrong side of the train tracks. That's where like the meth people live.
We can definitely bet on football next year, and it'll probably be a lot better when Aaron Rodgers is hopefully no longer a Green Bay Packer. You guys are dealing with a Jordan Love situation. Hey, what is going on, Manny?
What's up, Crudo? How you doing, bud? I love Manny. Manny's good people.
But I know that to get off maybe a little bit before we go into giving that giveaway, I know that you said that your big interview is dropping. You said tomorrow?
Yeah. I had an amazing chat on Sunday with Terry Moore, who I had to reel myself in several times during the interview because I found myself gushing. I had to kind of like reel it in. But yeah, I've been really into him since I read Rachel Rising. He's got a new Parker Girls comic right out now that spins off of his epic Strangers in Paradise, which is about to get a new release. They're going to release 4 new hardcover volumes of Strangers in Paradise soon. It's going to come out through Diamond. We talk about that in the interview. But what we really talk about is his new Kickstarter for Terry Moore After Dark, which is a stylistically sexy pinup collection of his characters. And just a lot of great sketches and stuff. And it was a $30,000 campaign. He funded in less than 15 minutes. He went to $100,000 in a day. He has broken past, they set a $125,000 Kickstarter goal for a Frank Cho print, and they just passed that. And their next stretch goal is 150K, and they broke 130, and he's still got like 2.5 weeks to go, or almost 20 days to go, or something. He's still got plenty of time, so it's very exciting to just see him blow up. It was his first Kickstarter. He was super nervous. Friend of the show, Pat Shand, was kind of working with him to kind of. Pat's kind of turning into this like Kickstarter guru, and he's great people. So yeah, it was, we had this really great chat. He said a lot of really smart stuff about like as an artist and how to find moments and focus in on those moments. One of the great things about him is everything is even when it gets bombastic and silly and crazy, he very much like brings it into like a very human place, and so it's very, very romantic and special and heartfelt. And yeah, I'll be releasing that episode tomorrow. It will be on the Blake's Buzz podcast, and then I'll have the video chat on the Blake's Buzz YouTube channel. What I've been doing is like I edit just a little bit for the podcast and cut a clean intro and outro, and then on the YouTube channel I just like upload everything, so you get maybe a couple extra minutes of like the pre-talk before I do the intro and stuff. And you can kind of watch us laugh if that's more of your jam. But yeah, that'll be available sometime tomorrow. And I'm really excited for people to check that out. That was a big get for me. And we had a great time talking. He was so humble and so smart and so very, very charming and cool dude. And it was a very up there in good podcast experiences.
Well, that is awesome, and I'm excited to see that. So I'm putting this back up. It looks like we have 17 entries in the
Seven.
giveaway.
That's
So
is that a record? I think that's a record so far,
yeah, I
right?
think the last one was maybe 15. I could be wrong. I don't remember exactly. You can go back and find it and leave it in a comment. And if you do, maybe I'll send you a sticker. Shoot, did I really get here at the end? Yeah, Flash Ray. Unfortunately, you did. We're usually trying to do these at about 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we usually are probably going to end around 9:30-ish. But hey, sometimes we'll run a little bit long, sometimes we might go a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So hey, you got here still. And yeah, I mean, if you want to hear more about Crash and Terraria, I highly recommend going back. We talked about some of our favorite spots, the characters that we really enjoyed, and that we went through kind of some of the heartache that this book saw, because this was a book that didn't maybe had a chance of not being released. So once again, we have all of a wave information down below. Yeah, EST is 3 hours ahead. So but we have all their information down below. So if you guys want to check them out, you can order directly from them. Or two, I'd highly recommend maybe going to your comic shop and asking for them to pick up
Yep.
a copy of it for you, because hey, maybe when they start grabbing some of these, they may be able to start ordering some of these other books. This is a great publisher that's hopefully we can be working with a little bit more in the future here.
Yeah, I know Cole and I would definitely be excited to check out more of your guys' stuff, because we were talking about that in the green room too. Like, some of their back catalog looks really cool, and they've got some really great anthologies. They've got a recent Ringo nominated anthology, Young Men in Love, that a friend of Cole and I, Rich Duick, and my buddy Nico from X's for Podcast, Nico Action, had a story in there, and so yeah, they have some really cool anthology stuff, some really cool trades out right now. They're doing very cool stuff. They very much believe that comic books are for everybody and representation matters, and I like their jam. I like their sauce. They're bringing it.
And I'm not exactly sure when, but I know that Jared is actually going to be featured in one of the new Image books.
Yes.
So, and
big news.
I think I don't know. I know he's in the DC Milestone Initiative. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm guessing he's probably going to get something over there soon too. But while we're here, I'm going to quick run this and let's see who the lucky winner is.
Here we go.
We got Callie and Jordan squad 2 times in a row.
Two-time winner. This thing's rigged. Have you guys will dig this. It's going back. It's the Image. I just pulled it up.
It's just called Image or whatever, right? But I don't know what issue of Image that is. So
it just says 30 years of sorry, 12 issue seller. It's in shops April 5th. It's $5.99. Pre-order code Feb 230184. Yeah, it's Jared.
Oh, it's issue number 12 of Image.
Oh, it is 12. Okay. But yeah, Matt Harding's friend passed, and Matt and his wife and some friends were like cleaning out his they like he was kind of helping take care of stuff after the fact, and they stumbled across some story or some artwork and things, and Matt reached out to Image. Matt put this all together. So very cool that he did that. Matt is the artist on Matt and Jared did the book
A Devil.
All the devils are here.
All the devils are here. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like they worked on that together. Matt's a great artist. He's great people, and so yeah, I think the whole another deal, like a great heartwarming backstory of how this little short came to be, and then also like super exciting for Jared and Matt to get their Image debut. So that, again, like you guys should pick that up. $5.99 for a piece of comic book history that a lot of people will hopefully get the recognition it deserves, and get some eyes on this on their work, because all these guys work hard, and like I said, this short in this Image anthology really did come from love. And I said this on a post, I was like, because there's that notion, like that, comic books will break your heart, right? Everybody's heard that quote before. And This does the opposite of that. Like, this is comic books will warm your heart and lift you up, and good things, do still happen in the medium. So definitely check that out. I'm excited for it.
And yeah, so once again, for everyone who stopped by and watched us talk about this book, thank you for doing that. We will be back again next week. I'm not sure if we have figured out what we're reading, but we'll probably
have
be
not.
reading
We have
another
not.
book at that point. So, hey, we'll eventually probably post about it. We try and post these away, and once again, we're going to try and do giveaways for each of these. So please continue to stop by and show us some support as we're doing this. As always, I have been Cole, and as a wise man once said, right on, and he's been Blake.
Buzz, baby. Thank you guys so much. It's so great that you guys tune into this. Like, we really do appreciate it. It's so fun to hang out with you guys and talk comics. And again, thank you to A Wave, Blue World, and Tyler. Like, that you warmed our hearts. We were so excited, and you guys retweeting and promoting the show too. Like, that was so cool. Like, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
Yep. And yeah, everyone, make sure you go grab this at your local comic book shops. And if they don't have it, ask them.
Order it.
Get a copy of it
tomorrow.
So you can read it. So yeah. And yeah, have a wonderful night, everyone, and peace.
Peace. Have a good one. Thanks, guys.
Oh, dang it. I hit the wrong button. Peace.